Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 174. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan and Brando. We're going to kai about some... Wait, shit, I fucked that up bad. Oh, man. I'm off. Whoa. Wow. Okay, we're going to try again. This being separate thing is crazy. Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 174. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan and Big Earth. And today we're going to continue the arc of the good vibes by Kai and about some kaiju. Now hit our theme song! Hey Ryan, we're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're back on another snowy Canadian afternoon in early April, and we're going to talk about some new Patron supporters. We're going to talk about some more good vibe stuff. We're going to talk about some super exciting stuff coming out of the future. But before we do any of that, we have to thank our official sponsors, face-to-facegames.com. They're Canada's biggest Magic store.
Very much so. I'm excited. I think this episode's going to be a good one, despite the terrible weather. It is April. God damn it.
This is outrageous, what's happening right now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what? This is the arc of good vibes, so we're not going to focus on the negative. We're going to focus on the positive. I think we should kick it right off by letting everybody know that on the pre-show, I kind of just blabbed it and decided that every single show we're going to do a giveaway.
Sure.
Yeah, we've got an altar that was donated from the Thursday altars on our Facebook page. We've got some playmats, either signed or unsigned. We've got packs, Ikoria stuff. I've got mystery boosters left. So we're going to decide from week to week and let everybody know.
Fun. Here's the thing that I got. Instead of an air horn for the foreseeable future until Ikoria drops, I have got the Godzilla roar for our winners.
Oh, God. It's going to be worse. Right. It's going to be worse.
No, it's way better. I found like the highest quality Godzilla roar clip on the entire internet.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely is. So I'm going to play it right now.
Hold on. Before you do, we gave a hint on the pre-show yesterday of a commander that was previewed with Ikoria. The hints were still in its native language that it was previewed in, one of your favorite colors, and it's going to be at the helm of a deck that doesn't exist yet that I thought you would like, so I tweeted at you about it.
Okay, so the language, what language is that? Is that Spanish?
It might be Spanish. I think it's probably Spanish. It might be Portuguese if this was previewed in Brazil.
So it's Spanish or Portuguese. The color is red, and the creature is Obosh Perforaprisus,
a.k.a. the translation right now exists as Obosh the Burrower. So Probably we'll have the actual English translation by the time this episode comes out. But at this time, if you guessed Obosh, you've been entered in to win a CCO playmat. Watch the Twitter feed, watch the Facebook feed. We're going to announce the winners there, and you can let us know if you want a signed one or an unsigned one. We have a couple more of each, and we want to keep the good vibes flowing and just give away every single episode because we know that people like winning. We like giving it away. And if we are all doing and getting stuff that we like, we think that maybe the world will be just that much of a better place.
You know what else makes the world a better place, Ryan?
No.
Godzilla roar! Yeah, there we go.
You know what's funny is we're not in the same place, everybody, so I can't even hear it to know if it was like loud or crappy or like the 1960s one.
It is 100% the 1960s one, Ryan.
I can hear it in my head. I can use my imagination.
Imagination is important for these times because we are in the midst of a nuclear winter, and we're all at home.
Yeah, a nuclear winter and a corona winter.
That too.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to be like every other podcast and be coronavirus.podcast. So I don't even want to talk about it other than the one Godzilla card that we're going to mention. And I mean, be as politically correct as possible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
yeah. What
I would rather do is a couple quick shout-outs, couple funny nicknames, and then we've got a couple just kind of feel-good stories from the Magic community and Brando's work and kind of what's been going on in our own lives. Again, just to make everybody feel good, maybe put a smile on people's faces. So I don't know if you wanted to kick off with that or if you wanted to jump into patron shoutouts right now.
Let's do our nicknames, and then we'll get into the stories.
Okay. First nickname. And this is one of the benefits for becoming a patron, patreon.com/CCOPodcast. Of course, link in the show notes. First shout-out nickname, thank you, FU, to Dana Wright. I don't know if this was the right decision for him to want a nickname. Huh? See what I did there? He's probably never heard that before.
He's probably heard that every day of his life. Let's call him, I don't know, Dinner Kite?
Dinner Tight.
Yeah. No, Dinner Kite. Like you fly a kite, and thus you would deliver the dinner. Because that is, again, how we are getting our meals now.
Oh, yeah. Delivery by kites and drones.
Yeah.
Didn't Amazon or Facebook want to do that? Didn't they want to like hover drones above the earth to provide Wi-Fi to like the whole world?
Maybe. That sounds like something that they'd want to do.
I think Dana Wright is like a super villain that wants to fly drones above the whole world to spy on everybody. Dana spying Wright, kite delivering.
Dana Drone Commander White. Right.
Yes.
Dana Drone Commander Right. There we go. We got it.
There it is.
Got there.
Isn't Dana? Oh, that's Dana White. I was thinking Dana Wright. Hey, there's got to be a UFC nickname in there too.
Well, yes, but he'd probably sue us and then say he's going to fight us on his podcast, and then he wouldn't fight us in real life.
Yeah, you're right. Dana Drone Commander Wright. Welcome to CCONation. FU. Thank you for the support. We very much appreciate it, especially at this particular day and age.
Yes.
Next, that's it. Next shout out. Harrison Wallace. Got to be some good nicknames in there.
How about Hairy Anus?
There is a lot of the same letters in those words that...
Yeah, I didn't even really change his name. I just took some letters out.
Gross. Gross. Well...
Hey, man, it's not my fault. I didn't name him.
Yeah.
I didn't set him up for this.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody wants these, but Harry, welcome. Thank you. And of course, FU.
FU indeed.
Now, all new patrons, of course, also receive a CCO gift in the mail. Post is a little bit delayed right now. It's all still up and running, but it just does take longer. I don't know why, if they have less people working or if they like leave the post in quarantine for like 72 hours to have any germs that are on like the cards die. Like, I don't know. But
I was thinking they can mist them or something. You know what I mean? Like when they just like hit them with some kind of disinfecting cloud. That's what I do. Or boil them or something. That'd be sweet.
Well, maybe not boil, but yeah, you could put them through some kind of disinfecting cloud as long as it wasn't like a moisture cloud. If it was some kind of powder, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. That sounds like chemical warfare.
Just shake lye onto it. That'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. Just sprinkle some anthrax on it. That was a thing for a while, wasn't it? Anthrax in the mail?
Yeah. I mean, I always assumed that's what it was for.
Oh, yeah. We got it all wrong. It was to help us.
You'll notice that the anthrax scares all stopped and all of a sudden coronavirus popped up in the mail. Here we are.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. CCO gifts for the Arc of Good Vibes, of course, CCO stickers, or CCO Brando altars. I tried my hand at some CCO Brando style altars. I don't know if they're going to be as good as you because you're going right for the knockout. I'm assuming you're putting like actual real work into these.
Well, at least the one that I'm currently putting real work into, yes. I'm going to make sure that this next one is the pièce de résistance, and it just puts an end to all doubt that I am in fact the one who makes Brando altars, which is why they're called Brando altars.
Yeah, I just make forgery like fake Chinese Brando altars.
See, you're Alibaba, I'm eBay. That's how it is. Or is eBay still good? eBay might not be good anymore. Maybe it's I'm Facebook Marketplace. Now nobody shows up for that. There's really no online seller that's good anymore. I'm Amazon, you're Alibaba. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Dana Wright is like Amazon flying his drones to bring them to everybody. Oh, yeah. So you can get those. They're fun. They're usually just tokens. I've only been doing tokens. I don't know what you've been doing. Don't tell me. But we're going to have a vote off. We're going to post them on Twitter, and there'll be a poll, or on Facebook, and we'll like combine the results of all the polls that we do. Maybe we'll have a little Brando Alter tournament. I think that would be fun.
That could be fun, yeah. Good way to pass some time.
So watch out for that. And of course, if anybody wants to contribute, once we do kick things off, they can submit their own for everybody to mock and make fun of and ridicule you for.
We'll see how it goes.
So, okay, this is the arc of good vibes. Do you have anything that you wanted to share that was a positive, magic or otherwise, beacon of light or hope in your day? Like, I haven't talked to you for a week. I assume that some good has happened sometime.
Believe it or not, actually, most stuff that's been happening is pretty good. I mean, I work at a place where you're kind of surrounded by the shittiest part of the day every day. But
you mean the news?
In the news, yeah. But, like, I've found that as the news is getting progressively, like, not more, like, worse, but, like, kind of bleaker and that sameness that everybody's so afraid of, and, like, all the quarantines are being pushed back and stuff, I've found that that's really pushed people to kind of up their positivity level. Like, I'm getting way fewer kooks now calling the show who are just mad because, like, the virus isn't real or whatever. And a lot more people are calling up just to, like, say thanks for us being here, or to appreciate everybody that's out working. On Mondays now, we do like an hour where people just call in and say good stuff about people. And like that never happens around here. So that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Where it's just been a flood of positivity from a kind of a fact-based, therefore negative source, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is actually cool. You know what I saw? And like, first and foremost, I don't want to tell people to not watch the news, but I think a lot of where people get the news is very much just like inaccurate or designed to like feed you information in like 1 second intervals as you're scrolling through your phone. And when you see something for 1 second on something that you've just been bombarded with, it becomes a negative experience. And I'm going to encourage people to not get their news on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Like, go to reputable news sources, either written or audio, like the radio, and listen to experts, not like some Instagram idiot who licks a fucking toilet seat. Like, I don't know. That's what I want to say on it. That sounds negative, but
but it's not. It's a good stuff. I mean, and a lot of news sources, what they're doing now is because everything's changing and updating every day, usually around supper time, like 6 o'clock, wherever you are. Typically, your local news outlet will have a wrap-up of everything that happened that day. And so if you just want to unplug up from it for the afternoon to keep yourself sane, and then just go back and just let's see what's happening today, that's probably what you want to do. You get a half an hour, you know everything that happened that day. Everybody's happy. I
like that. That's good advice. You can stay informed as to new developments in the situation, but you don't have to be bombarded with it all day.
Yeah, the longer that we stay under this blanket of whatever it is, the harder it's going to be on everybody. So my advice is to just focus on the good stuff in your life and stay informed, but don't make it the focus of your day, because there's no good's going to come from that.
Yeah, and you know what I like to add to that is focus on the things that you can control. You can control where you get your information from. You can control your reaction to things and your calmness, and we can all just stay calm and stay connected, usually digitally, like you and I are doing right now, and just weather the storm, right? That's all we can do, unless we're like the president, but I don't want to say that.
Well, we're the president and king of CCONation, which is way more impressive anyway.
That's it, and I'm putting my stamp on it. Weather the storm, stay calm, control where you're getting your information. Good vibe story that I have, just kind of to change the subject because F coronavirus.
Yeah, F it, man.
We've been having people reach out. I don't know if you have, but I have had people reaching out saying, hey, how you doing? Just wanting to make sure everything's cool with your family. And we've had, like I said last week, new patrons and new YouTube subs and new followers on Twitter just saying, hey, the least I can do for a content creator that I like to listen to or watch is become a new patron or bid on a card, or even just a like or a follow helps out like a ton. And you know what? Even if it doesn't help out at all, it does make me feel good to see that what we're doing is appreciated and growing, and this thing that we work so hard at is actually still surviving and flourishing when other people or other people's businesses are not. So that does make me feel very good.
Yeah, people have really come through for us. I have had quite a few messages of people reaching out saying, how you doing, or like what's going on, checking in on me, making sure I'm okay. So to all of those people, if I haven't responded to you, I try my best. But thank you very much for reaching out. I'm doing great. Kyla's great. Urza's great. Everything is actually going pretty good.
Is Kyla's workload reduced at all? Because she, for anybody who doesn't know, she works for herself. She's got her own business, but it involves going into other businesses or houses, and that's probably cut back a little bit, hey?
Yeah, it's a little bit slower. Most of the people are keeping her on through this, but like at a sort of in a reduced capacity, just to because they're home now, right? So they do a little bit more tidying themselves, then rather than going once every week, she goes once every 2 weeks to a lot of places. But things are still going well. Everybody wants to keep her on, and we're making it.
It's good. It's good. I think for the most part, nobody's expecting to get rich. Everybody's just expecting to, like I say, weather the storm. And if we can all kind of just float along status quo until this is over, then there might be a little bit of an elastic effect, which is going to be very welcome when things really spring back and shoot back because people haven't, gone out, went to the bar, had their house cleaned, got their magic altars, whatever, right? So that elastic effect is what's pulling a lot of people along, I think.
Yeah, I'm super excited for when this is over and we can go out for that 5-foot pizza.
Oh, I'm super excited. You know what I'm excited for? To get to EDH&M, jam some EDH, and then just go out and drink fucking buckets of beer.
Yeah, I might have to get a ride home on the first EDH&M back because I probably aren't going to be able to walk home.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
dude, I'm crawling home. I'm gonna sleep outside. I probably can't sleep outside because it'll be snowing in July when we can get the fuck out of my house. But anyways, I thought I would throw the Magic topic in there because that's what I'm most excited for. Is seeing all the dude bros on a Tuesday night, going to the LGS, and then going to the coach after, and just talking Magic until fucking it closes, and it's going to be great. And that is ultimately that's kind of how we started the show, right? And that is what I'm missing the most about my Magic playing world, right?
Well, yeah, that's I've been playing Arena, and that's the one thing that Arena kind of lacks is the social aspect, right? Because there's no chat function, so you can't talk to your opponent.
Really? There's no chat function? Can you direct message people? Somebody get at Brando. Teach him how to be less of a Luddite.
Yeah, if there's a way of doing it, let me know. Because I've had some great games with people, and I want to be like, dude, your deck is so cool, but I can't.
There it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I have actually been having lots of fun. I played the EDH&M yesterday, or the FNM yesterday, where you got to build decks of any card you wanted from Standard. So I built this amalgamation of, because I'm an EDH player, I just picked 10 cards, and I played 4 of each of those 10 cards, and then I play games.
Isn't that how you play Standard? Is you just pick 4 of all the best stuff?
No, I didn't pick the best stuff, Ryan.
Oh, you just picked stuff.
I just picked cards, and it was I drew my whole deck in one game.
Ooh.
And lost. And I lost that game because I drew the whole deck. And
that is how you... For new members to CCONation, if you draw cards with 0 cards in your library, you lose.
Yes. Oh, I didn't even mean to. It's ooh, value.
Oh, wait. Unless it's CEDH, and then you win. Because that's the only way anybody wins.
Yeah. Fucking CEDH.
Oh, that's it. You know what? If somebody said quarantine's over, but you can only play CEDH, I would jump right in my car right now with my sweatpants on and go play.
I would too.
And I would take my worst deck. If they said worst deck but only CEDH and everybody else is playing real decks, I'd go.
Yeah, I would definitely show up too. Just grab the beer off, I go. It'd be fun.
Yeah, me and Lord of Tressorhorn.
Oh shit.
So I guess we do have a main topic today. It's funny to say that because usually we get into a deck tech and that's kind of how we do it, but I think it would be difficult to do a deck tech. We are going to do them, but we've got Ikoria previews coming out the ass, C20 previews coming out the ass, and we wanted to spend a few minutes per episode in the arc of good vibes to really feel good about the new stuff coming out and get excited for when we can finally play it. So today we wanted to look at the Mutate mechanic from Ikoria and the top 5 or the 5 new Apex Predators or Apex monsters from each of the, I guess they're wedge shards, but they call them triomes, right?
Do they call them that? Is that the official word for them?
Yeah, they call it a triome, and I think it's to riff off of biome, which is like a habitat, right? But it's 3 colors of mana, so they call it a triome, which I think is clever. I think it's cool.
I guess.
So we have got our preview site of choice up here, and we've got the 5 big swinging dinks of the set. I don't know if you want to read them or if we want to talk about what Mutate is first. How do you want to do it?
I want to say something first, because I know that there was something you wanted to gloat about, speaking of mechanics, but there's something that I want to point out, because 2 years from now we're going to look back and we're all going to go, oh man, Brando was totally right, because I'm going to say what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is this set reminds me so much of Kamigawa that it hurts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because like when you look at the overall mechanics from this set, I don't think any of them are... You're probably not going to see a lot of it again, just because it's kind of gimmicky, and I don't think it's necessarily the most exciting thing you can have. And a lot of that was in Kamigawa too, and Kamigawa was sort of underpowered and unpopular, but it had amazing art. It had a bazillion different legendary creatures in it that have given us umpteen decks that we can play with. And there's so many like hidden gems that you look back at and think, oh shit, I should have bought that back when it was $1. And there are a lot of those cards spoiled already in the set.
Yeah, and you know what? Of the price thing in particular, we're in a time now that when this launches, it'll only launch in Asia and Asia Pacific countries first. So if we want singles, we won't be able to get them. And even when we can get them, there will be some places in the world that will still be under quarantine or isolation mandates whereby they won't be able to go out and physically open cards or get packs or drafts. So this set might be under opened. You might be right on the price thing. What I thought you were going to maybe say is this set feels a lot like Commander 11. And I mentioned that I was going to talk about it on Commander Ad Populum. I said I was going to talk about it here, so I have to. That this set very much feels like the second coming of Commander Renaissance, in that if C11 was the Renaissance of Commander, that's when it kind of boomed, because that's when Wizards started to officially support it. This feels like they're leaning into it so much so that everything is going to be Commander. And I know that I said that Wizards has leaned all the way into Commander. I know I've said that in the past in Ixalan and then the sets all after Ixalan. But this one is the most, so much so that their companion mechanic, the thing that you said I was going to gloat about, their companion mechanic actually just makes all formats into what Commander is. You've got this companion mechanic that poses a deck building restriction on you from before you start the game, and you can cast it from outside of the game. All of that sounds exactly like how Commander sounds. And I guess we can go into the companion mechanic a little bit from right now, but we're going to focus on these mutate creatures. But the mechanic we're talking about in companion, what is it? It's a keyword mechanic, right?
Yeah, it's companion, and then companion tells what your starting deck has to have in it. Like the one I'm looking at right now says only cards that cost 3 or more can be in your deck.
That's the Simic one, right?
That is the Simic one. And then he begins in your sideboard or wherever the fuck they are, and he doesn't count towards the card number limit in your deck, and you can cast it. I guess in Commander you can cast it like once. And
once per game, right? And then when it dies, it doesn't go back to the command zone or wherever it came from. It goes to your graveyard.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Because just last week I was talking about lieutenants or other cards that exist alongside of your commander. And I think we might have even touched on partners last week, which we're seeing again in C20. We'll talk about that next week. What do you think about this companion mechanic? Is it still too early to tell?
I think it's interesting, but the especially in Commander, let's keep using this, everything costs 3 or more. Like, really think about your decks. Do you really want everything in a Commander deck to cost 3 or more? Probably.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to F.U. Smitty about it. He said, well, they just pose some minor deck building restriction, so why is the Otter one banned, but none of the other ones are banned if they all represent that 101st card with no real downside? And I said, well, hold on a second. This Simic one that doesn't let you play 1 or 2 drops, no Soul Ring, no fast mana, no rampant growth, no mana dorks, no efficient removal, no counter spells, right? No Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah.
Right, so they do pose a fairly large building restriction. Do you think that we're going to see any that are worth it for Commander? And then do you think that we're going to see any that are actually like really good besides the banned one?
I think we're going to see some that are fun. Like, I'll bet you the I can't see it right now, the octopus or the squid one where everything has to be even. I think that those ones are going to be fun, but I don't think we're going to see any that are going to like blow the format open and become these huge forces where it's like, oh, you're playing the Karuga deck, that's so good. I don't think any of them are gonna happen that way. And I don't think a lot of these are gonna be even really staples, just because they do pose such a restriction on your deck for a creature you can play one time.
Yeah, I think the one-time thing is what gets it. Now, you had mentioned Karuga. That's the one we're talking about. It's a 5/4 dinosaur hippo for
awesome.
Simic 3 companion. Your starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater, and then its actual ability is when Karuga the Macro Sage enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. So probably for 5 mana, you'll maybe draw 5 cards.
See, I would just play him as my commander and fuck that restriction. Then I can play my Sol Ring and I can play all my fast mana and my dorks to play all my shit that costs a whole bunch, so I can draw a bunch of cards with this guy.
Yeah, enters the battlefield, draws you a bunch of cards. Sounds like every other Simic commander. So I don't even know if that one is like, is this one better than Tatiova? Is it better than, what's the one for 6 mana that draws you a card for each +1/+1 counter on it?
Zagana?
Zagana.
Prime
That's
Speaker
right.
Zagana, is that it?
Right. Yeah, and you know what else is funny is, or not funny, but interesting, is these companion cards have other relevant creature types like dinosaur. You could put this in your dinosaur deck. I'm looking at Umori the Collector is an ooze and a legendary creature. So this could be your ooze tribal commander. I thought that this might have been the one that you were latching onto.
Oh, definitely. I like that one. Except everything in the deck has to share a type.
Yeah, so I think that you just make it all creatures, and when it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Or choose a card type. You would choose creatures because that's the only card type in your deck. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So you could run Protean Hulk in here, and you could run all 0 and 1 drop things and just cast them for free. You could run things like Recycle and Null Profusion and
you can't
your
run
whole deck.
Can't run those.
Oh, no, you can't. That's right. Oh, you know what you could run? You could run all of the creatures that say whenever you cast a creature, draw a card. You could run the Vizier of Menagerie, which lets you cast creatures from the top of your library. I'm thinking like few mana, like 15 mana dorks at the 1-drop slot, and then all 1-drop artifact creatures and rip through your whole deck. Right?
Ooh.
Like you could build a deck like that, and you get these free creatures out of the command zone with your Umori commander, or you could have a different commander and cast this guy on turn 2 or 3 if you've got like a lot of mana dorks, and have an actual powerful commander that helps you win the game.
Yeah, like they're cool. They're neat little like. I think that when we were talking about it before, we had mentioned that it was kind of like the signature spell in what's that format? Oathbreaker.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Where
that's actually a good way to do it because that Umori guy that lets me combo my creatures out might be the actual combo card. Like sometimes a signature spell is your control card or your finisher card, your ad nauseum. And your commander might be the one that actually wins you the game.
That's why the Otter's banned, by the by. Because the deck restriction is you have to have an EDH deck instead of a real deck.
Yeah, when each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name is the restriction.
You're playing EDH now. That's why it's banned. Because
we're already playing EDH and there's zero cost to run this except you have blue and red in your deck, and when you cast it for 3 mana, or is it 1 flash speed, you can copy an instant or sorcery. So essentially, it's a dual caster mage, right?
Yeah.
Out of the command zone, but isn't your commander.
Yeah, and it's the 101st card in your deck. It's not because it's
zero
too powerful.
Opportunity cost, right? Like
yeah. Like it's so you lose nothing by including it in your deck. So why wouldn't you play it? That's probably why they banned it.
What do you feel about the banning? Do you think that they should have given it a chance?
No. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it being banned. I'm fine with it. Because, again, like anything that's printed to immediately go into every single deck, I don't like it. And this would, if you're going to play blue and red in Commander, your deck is not as powerful as the other guy's deck if you don't have a Otter guy in it. Because there's no reason not to play it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I do like that sentiment.
Yeah, like I don't think it's too strong. I don't think he breaks the format. I don't think any of that stuff. I think that you have to ban him just because he doesn't need to be in every goddamn deck. He just doesn't. And he would be.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like you just walking around, you know how you keep your tokens in your same deck box and stuff? If that wasn't banned, you'd take out your Is It Commander and your tokens and your life counter, whatever you bring to play Magic, and then you just like take out your, what's his name, Lutri, Otter guy or whatever?
Yeah.
Just take him out and he just sits there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we wasted too much time on it. It's banned. There's nothing that we can say or do about it. I want to talk about Mutate and these Apex monster predator things because they actually intrigue me, and I know the alternate art versions of them very much speak to you.
I am very excited about the alternate art of these cards.
Would you say that you were rock hard?
Absolutely. I would say I have an erection right now.
Gross.
Yep. I'm not even going to use euphemisms. I have an erection when I think about how excited I am about the art gimmick for this set. I am so pumped. I'm so happy that the set symbol is Godzilla's eye from the frickin' movie where they show his eye. I'm so happy that they got Toho on board to do Godzilla shit. I'm so happy that the regular creatures look like goddamn Godzilla monsters. This is everything that I wanted out of a Magic set. This is it. And I mean, am I pumped about the mechanics and all the creatures? Like, sure. But like, just how excited am I just to get my hands and own these cards? This is it for me.
The jig's up, everybody. Brando likes big creatures.
I do. And I like big monsters. And I like them when they're stomping through cities and breathing atomic fire on suckers. I like when people run away and point back and say, oh my God, there's that thing. Because it's like, of course, Jimbo, we can see him. He's 30 feet tall and stepping on a building. I know he's there. You don't need to stop to tell me that. I'm very excited.
That sounds like a good vibe.
I hope so, because I've been looking forward all week to talking about this because I really am just excited to own the cards. Like I don't even care what they do. I just want them.
Oh yeah, because some of them are kind of stinkers, hey?
Yeah, there are some duds, and I think that the first dud overall is the mutate mechanic.
Oh really?
I do. I think it's a bit of a dud.
So okay, let me explain what it is, and then we'll talk about it a little bit because I think that it's a cool mechanic and it's very reminiscent of what this set does. But there is some criticisms I have of it.
Sure.
So mutate is an alternate way to cast a card, a creature with mutate. It's usually an alternate casting cost, right? And it reads like this: Mutate. If you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human creature you own. They mutate into creatures on top, plus the ability of all creatures under it. So essentially, you've got a card, like a creature card, sitting on your battlefield. You cast a mutate creature, and if you put it over top, you've mutated into this new creature, and it has all the things that are the top creature. Except it also has the abilities from the bottom creature.
Yeah. It is the top creature, and it has the abilities of all the bottom creatures.
That's right. And the opposite is true is if you have a big creature on the battlefield and you mutate a smaller creature, you can put it onto the bottom. So your card remains the top creature, but it gains the abilities of the bottom creature.
Yeah.
So there's creatures that will trigger when they mutate. There's things that have awesome abilities. And then there's things that are huge with big power and toughness. And then there's some that are a combination of all three of those. And those are the apex monsters that we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
So the first one, and they have weird names, so I'm just going to kind of throw them out there. The first one is Snapdax, Apex of the Hunt. They're all apex of something because they're the apex monster. This is Snapdax. And it is a dinosaur cat nightmare, 3/5 for black, white, red, 1. And it's got mutate for white, Rakdos hybrid, and 2. So it costs 4 for a 3/5, or you can mutate it for 5. And it's got double strike, and when it mutates, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls, and you gain 4 life. So a huge mouthful of words, and like half the Bible's printed on this thing. In every single place that words can be written on this card, it's got words on it, which is my first criticism of these. The mutate mechanic, the abilities when they mutate, and then the huge, big, long names. And triple type, race, class, creature type.
and they're all like, with the exception of Beast, which a lot of them are, they're all kind of not niche, but they're kind of niche commander types. Like, here we are, remember I always say they always print one good cat. Well, there's a bunch of cats in this set, and dinosaurs are very cool. You're on the monster set, obviously you have dinosaurs, and then like Nightmare, and there's a bunch of sharks, I think, like bugs or something. Like, there's so many weird niche creature types in this set, and then these creatures all have like 16 of them.
Which is, yes, 16 creature types, which is actually cool. I appreciate that because then you can fit them into, that tribal deck that you wanted to make. Like, I'm waiting for my hammerhead sharks and giant sharks to spike because now there's a shark commander coming up, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm waiting for it. The dark, baby. I got like 20 of them.
You know what I thought would be really cool in this set in general is if they had a changeling. Because it's like all creature types now, because it's been mutated so much, it's achieved its perfect form, and you can't mutate it again. And the creatures would be just these fucking crazy world eaters. That'd be so neat. But we didn't get that. We got these guys.
So you just wanted more Eldrazi?
I guess so. But
ooh, I want to mutate onto Eldrazi's.
Oh, that's gonna happen. Just give it when we go back to Zendikar, that's gonna happen because again. Watch out for the stuff in this set.
If you mutate onto something, though, it becomes the power and toughness of the top card. So your big Eldrazi would still have, your Annihilator and your attack triggers or whatever they are, but you would have the power and toughness of the top card. So remember that, people, when you go to mutate. It's always the power and toughness of the top card.
Yeah, but you put the mutate on the bottom because mutate doesn't always go on top. Mutate can go underneath. So, like, if you have your Ulamog or whatever, you just put Snapdex underneath it, and now you have an 11/11 Annihilator indestructible double strike that deals 4 to gain you 4.
Oh my god. And listen, you can mutate from the command zone. You do have to pay commander tax on that mutate because you're casting it. So Snapdex would cost white Rakdos 2 and then white Rakdos 4 and so on. But if you did have an Ulamog in there, you are mutating onto And it you know what? It stays in Ulamog though, right? No, if it's in the pile, it counts. I read that on Twitter. The WotC rules manager said if it's in the pile, it counts as your commander. So if you snap-dexed onto an Ulamog, you'd make it, if it was like the old Mog, that was, he's a 10-10, right?
I think he's an 11-11. Isn't Kozilek the 10-10? I don't fucking remember. It doesn't matter. He's giant anyway.
Ulamog's a 10-10, both of them are, but if you gave it double strike and it's in the pile, so it's your commander, Snapdex would actually deal 20 damage with that Ulamog. And you could, if you had any other buff or any previous commander damage, it could turn into a one-shot kill. Yeah,
8?
Essentially just put it on an 11 or bigger and then give it double strike, because Snapdex has double strike. So really he's like a 6/5 natively. Cool.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. The thing I don't like about Mutate is I called it on Twitter a shitty bestow.
Okay.
Because like with bestow, where you would take a creature and turn it into an enchantment that enchants a creature, where it basically combines the two creatures together. When that creature died and the enchantment fell off, you'd get the creature that the enchantment originally was. Yeah. Whereas with Mutate, when the creature dies, all of those creatures are dead now.
Yeah, it does make spot removal very good.
Swords and Path are already really, really, really good. And if you're going to invest, let's say one of these guys is your commander and you've got to pay 9 to mutate something and it gets removed, you just feel like an asshole.
Yeah, and you know what though? So when you bestow onto something, this is another thing that they had to clarify. When you when you mutate something,
same thing.
If you kill the thing that they're targeting with mutate, in response to them casting the mutate card will enter the battlefield in its native form. And they wrote it into the rules like that probably so it didn't give anybody the feel bads when they're like somebody used a terror to counter their creature spell that they were trying to mutate with. You still get the native thing. So what you do in that case is let the mutate resolve, let it enter the battlefield, let them combine and mutate, and then kill it, because then you're going to get the 2-for-1.
Yeah. I mean, it does the same thing. It just makes you slow down for a second.
Yeah.
You'll get everybody with it once, where it's like, haha, kill your guy in response. Haha, I still got a guy. And then the next time it'll be like, I mutate my dude. K resolves. Go fuck yourself. It's like, oh, shit.
Last thing on Snapdex. His Godzilla form is King Caesar, the Awoken Titan. King Caesar, Awoken Titan.
King Caesar, Awoken Titan. This art looks a lot like Zod the Immortal from Berserk. Also, very exciting.
Oh, sure. I'll pretend I know what you're talking about. You know what? It is worth mentioning that the showcase of these is very comic booky. I don't know what style of art it's called, but if anybody recalls Secret Lair Kaleidoscope Killers, where they had that very secondary color palette comic book art on the Sliver Overlord and the Dragon and stuff, that's what the showcase versions of these look like. Not the Godzilla ones, but the showcase ones that you can get in like promo packs.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about those ones though. We want the Godzilla ones.
I like them both.
I actually do like them both too. That's another reason why I'm so excited for this. It kind of sucks because you know what that means, Ryan? We have to buy super packs.
Oh, dude, I'm buying super packs and we will open flippy them for everybody's entertainment on YouTube. And you know what? I am going to get a collection of all the Godzilla ones. I'm going to frame it up beside my Modern Horizon art cards in Studio CCO. Lots of people who've watched the YouTube content a lot have seen the framed art cards. I'm going to have Godzilla's right beside them.
Excellent.
Yeah. So next mutate guy is broke ass Apex of Forever. Brokos?
That's broke ass. You said it right the first time.
Broke ass. Yeah. Nightmare Beast Elemental 6/6 for blue, green, black 2. Mutate green Dimir 2. I think that's common. You still see the 3 colors in the mutate cost, but they're distributed a little bit differently. Sure, whatever. It's a 6/6 trampler. You can cast it from your graveyard by using its Mutate ability. So this is one of our graveyard ones in the Sultai color combination, and it lets us get around commander tax by mutating it from our graveyard to get 2 for 1 again the next time it dies. So it's good because it dodges commander tax. It's bad because it'll always get 2 for 1. You always need something to mutate it. You don't need to mutate it.
You have to mutate it from it. In order to mutate, you need a target.
Sorry, you have to have a target creature. Yes, you have to. That's what I was asking. You read my mind.
That's why I'm here.
So I think that we would need to make creatures on the cheap to be able to mutate into this guy, right?
Well, in theory, I don't know. This guy's pretty good all by himself. You could make good stuff, or if you have giant things, you just make your giant things with trample now. He's a really expensive way to give your guys trample.
But he's a repeatable one to give your guys trample. And if you've already got big guys and you're looking to do the commander damage thing, this guy does give you a good way to do it with trample and 6/6 power and toughness natively.
It's Voltron.set.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is the second card that we've mentioned that on, and does it... If there's that much more Voltron running around... Does it make it better?
I don't think so. I don't think Voltron is format warping. I don't think it's going to change the way people are building decks or how they approach the format. It's just people are already packing removal because it's good.
But if there's 3 Voltron decks at the table, you're not going to have enough spot removal to take care of it all. If you can cast Broke-Ass from your graveyard over and over, you're not going to have enough removal.
Oh, there's lots of ways of dealing with playing stuff from graveyards, Ryan. You should know that.
I suppose. Yeah. What do you mean? I suppose this one in particular gets hated out by graveyard hate and that 2 for 1 removal that people are already packing to take care of other Voltron commanders that we're going to see more of. And they all have their master removal that you have to pack just as an insurance package in any deck anyways.
Yeah, if you're playing EDH, you have ways of dealing with Voltron commanders. You just do. Every deck already has them, and I think that's fine. It doesn't make them bad. It just doesn't change the format when they come out.
Yeah, and for completion's sake, BioQuartz Space Godzilla is this guy's Godzilla counterpart.
Hell yeah.
Cool. He's got crystal shoulder pads. It's like 1992.
He's playing football in the 80s.
Yes. No helmet.
He's out on the town, and he's pick up your mom.
Excellent.
Let's do the next. I think the next one is the one that might be I think this might be the broken one.
This one is the troublesome one. Let me tell you. This is Nathaniel Roy.
Yep.
Apex of Death. 5/5 cat nightmare beast for green, black, white 2. And then mutate for black, Selesnya 4. So that is an increase in mana to mutate him. It's probably relevant because whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the B. And Death Touch and Lifelink, just because, it has more colors.
If that doesn't scream dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking dredge combo, what else does? Never
mind. You could, Buried Alive for 3 creatures, you could make a combo that your opponents can't interact with.
Yeah.
You could Buried Alive for Machias the Unhallowed and Triskelion, or pick your 2-card creature-based combos with small creatures, okay?
Yeah.
You could get your Mike and Trike and then get your Sylvan Safekeeper, which sacrifices a land to give target creature Shroud until end of turn. Just sacrifice 2 lands and they can't interact with your Mike and Trike. Or get your Grand Abolisher, which says during your turn, which is when you'd have to cast this to mutate it, during your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So they can't cast spells and they can't activate abilities to interact with you.
You get your 2-card combo and a creature to protect your combo and then win the game.
And it doesn't even need to be a 2-card combo, because what you can do is get your Grand Abolisher, get your Sylvan Safekeeper, get your Protean Hulk, because you're still only at 7 or 8, total power, and then you can get a sack outlet like what's the vampire, Scry 1 vampire?
Viscera
Seer to sacrifice your Protean Hulk, and then find all the creatures that you need to again with your Protean Hulk, which could include cards that can make you mana, and you can sacrifice your Nethroi to mutate it again to do this again.
If you do this more than once, you've probably not built your deck properly.
You probably, but this, like, you can see it's cyclical if you can sacrifice it with mana up to play it again. Yeah, this card is the truth. Yeah.
I think that there's some oversight happening there, I think, but that's just me.
I don't know. It's fine. It's powerful, but it suffers from a bunch of the same stuff. You have to build your graveyard deck. It's susceptible to graveyard hate. Like, I'm sure it's going to be good, like what's the one from M20, like Kaikar, or the one that gives you double ETBs. Like, those are all powerful, but they cost a lot, and they're build aroundable or beatable if you build the proper hate into your deck, like we should be anyways. Yeah. The Godzilla version of this is Biolante. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's Biolante. Plant beast form. I like that.
I don't even know what character that is. I'm not as versed in Godzilla and Kaiju.
Kaiju?
Kaiju, yeah. See, I can't even say the fucking word right. I'm not as versed in it as you are.
We'll have a talk later. It'll be good.
Okay. It'll just be like Brando beating me with a Max Crandell pipe.
Yes. All right, let's go on to the next one. We're running short on time here, right, Brad?
This is it.
Let's do Vadrock.
Vadrock. I was going to say Vardok, but I was like, that sounds too much like a Dragon Ball Z character, which is going to be our next crossover, probably. This is Vadrock, Apex of Thunder. This is a 3/3 elemental dinosaur cat for just Jeskai, white, red, blue. Mutate for red, Azorius 1. Oh, that's hard to say. Flying, yes. First strike. When this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Woof. So this just like is like the Snapcaster mutate guy, right?
It's another Jeskai commander. I think that we've come to the point where these Jeskai commanders they're not doing all the same stuff, but there's lots of flashback spell, play spell, fly first strike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this goes in the Kaikar sacrifice spirits to make mana deck. It goes in the Savine deck where you bounce this thing and remutate it to cast stuff out of your graveyard and double it with Savine every turn. Like if you did that with extra turn spells, like who isn't going to do that in Jeskai, right?
Yeah.
You get double extra turn spells. So I think that deck's cool. I'm glad that like the fair cast stuff out of your graveyard Jeskai deck, I'm glad that archetype is getting bolstered.
It's fine. I have no problem with it. I think it's pretty standard. I'm not really excited by it. I like the art on it, but that's about as far as I go on that one.
Yeah, that one is going to look cool getting altered, just FYI, because there's a lot of teal mixed with red, kind of like Niv Mizzet Pyroon looks really good altered for the same reason that Teal Lightning.
Yeah, I dig that. I can see that, yeah.
And I keep saying
whatever.
It's Godzilla. Counterpart is, I think I got this one, Rodan, Titan of Winged Fury.
Hell yeah, that thing could fly at supersonic speeds and like do all kinds of crazy shit, and it lives in a volcano. It's awesome.
That one is cool, man. That has a cool name.
I like everything about that.
Fuck yeah, those are so cool, eh? I can tell you're smiling. You can tell I'm smiling. Those are fucking cool.
I just want them in my life. That's all I want right now is these cards in my life.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man. Let's do the last one. Now, this one, when I looked at it initially, I looked at it and I was like, man, that looks a lot like a Traxa. Oh,
yeah,
man.
so this is Illuna, Apex of Wishes. This is the 6/6 Beast Elemental Dinosaur. It's like they just fucking put names into a hat. Whatever. 6/6, red, blue, green, 2. You can mutate it, blue, blue, and then Gruul and 3. Flying and trample. And when you mutate the creature, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. Why do you think Atraxa?
Just because it looked kind of like her. She's got the big wings and she's glowing and has the pointy head.
Oh, I see. It physically looks like Atraxa.
Like the picture on it reminded me of Atraxa. Then I read it and I was like, nah, nope.
You know what? It feels a lot more like Maelstrom Wanderer to me, where you can build your deck in such a way, or like anything with Proteus Staff, where you build your deck in a way to kind of polymorph down into the one thing that you want to find. That's kind of how this card feels to me.
Agreed. It's cool. I like this one quite a bit. I feel like there's probably going to be some kind of like one-time use degenerateness that somebody's going to come up with this. I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to exist. But that's fine.
You know what this is? This is the build your deck with all ramp spells, like spell-based ramp, and removal spells, counter spells, and tutors to find your dramatic reversal, and the non-land permanent card that you reveal down to is your only artifact, and that is Isochron Scepter. So you're going to just dramatic scepter combo with your commander. That's where my head goes with this. But again, I'm not saying that any of these are going to be CEDH playable, because the mutate cost is just so high on all of them, except for the Jeskai one, which is probably the least powerful.
That's probably why the mutate cost.
No, the Sultai one is the least powerful, the one that you cast from your graveyard. But I don't know, they're just cool, man.
Yeah, they're neat. I like them lots. I think that they're going to be fun to build with and play against. I think I'm probably going to put Illuna and Brokos into my Horde of Notions deck when I get them, just because they're elementals, so why not? Because they're pretty cool and that's neat.
Yeah, that's it.
But
and
they're fun.
Just for completion's sake, Ghidorah, is that right?
Yes.
Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
King of the Cosmos. Just a big 3-headed motherfucker coming to kill you.
Breathing laser space sent by aliens to kill Godzilla. What a dink.
Is that it? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Man. He was like if I remember right, he was like the champion picked by this alien race to come to Earth to fight the champion of Earth, who of course is Godzilla, who of course wins, because Godzilla's the fucking man, and that's just how it is.
He is the king of monsters.
That's right.
And that is our buy a box promo that we got for buying our box.
Dude, I am so excited that that's the buy a box promo, because that's like the one that I wanted more than any of them.
It's a 7/7 for 5.
It's a 7/3 for... Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Ha!
Give it a read, because we're talking about Godzilla now anyways.
All right, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Red, green, 3. Dinosaur, trample, lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. So yeah, he's a 7/3. Wow.
He's a 7/3, but
he's a 7/7.
It takes 7 damage to kill him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the first time we've ever seen that.
It is. It's kind of like Doran, but the opposite. And
it's Oppo Doran.
And fucking better because it's Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, he takes a shit right on Doran, and he uses Doran's leaves to wipe his ass. F you, Smitty.
Agreed. Oh, man, I'm super pumped. And everybody gets one. So everybody's going to have that card in their life, and they're going to be happy. And I like how...
everybody that buys a box.
Well, yeah, but everybody will buy a box of this. Can you hear how hyped I am for this set? How can people hear how hyped I am and not want to buy this entire set?
Yeah, that's it.
It's impossible.
That's it. You know what? Speaking of buying this set, and this is the last thing that we're going to have time for today, but we're talking about Godzilla. We talked about breathing lasers and what have you. The Death Corona was what Space Godzilla breathed, and Wizards the day of or the day after the preview for Space Godzilla Death Corona had to release an official public, not apology, but an explanation of how what they said was the word Corona changed in meaning publicly after this card was already printed and ready to be distributed. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but this card won't be released on Arena. They're changing the name. And second print runs of Ikoria are going to have Space Godzilla with a different name. So Space Godzilla Death Corona is going to be a rare and expensive card. So get your first print runs of super packs and try and crack this baby.
And then hang on to them because they're going to be... And they're sweet. Let's be straight up. They're fucking sweet also.
Yeah, 8/8 Death Touch cycling for 8. It's fine. When you cycle Void Beckoner, that's the actual card, put a Death Touch counter on target creature you control. That's fine.
No,
Draw a card, give something Death Touch for 3. That's cool. You could use it like a removal spell.
The creature is ass, man. The art is what it's erase all the words off of it, and it's awesome. You can just alter it so it has no words on it.
I could do that. If anybody's interested in 100% full art textless Godzillas, they're all techless, or they're all like extended borderless art already. But if anybody's into it, let me know. Your Godzillas can be textless. Get at me.
They're so good. Should we talk about Mecha Godzilla too? Do we have time? Can we talk about it real fast?
You're the one that's editing,
all right,
man.
Mecha Godzilla. So cool. It's like the coolest creature in the whole set. He's a 3/3 artifact creature for 3, and then each upkeep you pick at random from a keyword, and he just fucking gets it.
Because he's mecha.
And then if you look at the thing, he's all lasers and missiles and shit. Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah, we didn't want guns in our IP. We don't want guns. No guns, no guns.
Get out of here with your no guns.
We're going to give you a card made out of
exactly.
guns.
Exactly. He's a gun that shoots smaller, more intense guns.
Fucking America incarnate.
So awesome. Oh.
Yeah. We're pumped, you guys. It's going to be a few more weeks of Arc of Good Vibes. We're coming at you for the next however long it takes for us to deliver positivity to our Magic community, to all of CCONation. So if you liked this kind of banter episode and breaking the set review up, there's more of it to come. We've got more legendaries. We're going to have a proper set review of all of the other cards in the set. We've got to review some C20 coming up, which we're pumped for. We got it on pre-order. And of course, support local. Get them from your LGS. Support your local breweries. Order food from your local Chinese restaurants like I am tonight because I got my tax return.
Oh, me too.
Sick. We can have, maybe we'll have a webcam Chinese date.
Ooh.
Nah, that's not what I do with my webcam.
Oh, we could do that, though. We could. We can watch WrestleMania and eat Chinese food together, but far apart.
We could do that. Man, I'm missing WrestleMania. I'm bummed.
Hey, man, I told you how you could get it. It's free.
I know, but it's not instantaneous with satellite. It takes like 24 to 48 hours. Whatever. We're not talking about that. I'm just going to get pissed off. Listen, I sort of did the final thought of the day, but give us the official CCO Brando final thought of the day.
Official final thought of the day. We hope you enjoyed some more good vibes that we are trying to send out to you. A big thanks goes out to face-to-facegames.com. They're Canada's biggest Magic store for helping keeping us going during this very strange time. But a bigger thanks to all of you who put us in your ear holes and your other holes every week, because we really do enjoy being part of your day and part of your week and part of your Magic experience overall. In closing, I'm going to suggest that you should listen to the next few episodes because we're going to have deck lists, we're going to have giveaways, we're going to have more talking about the really effing cards in this set, all that and so much more on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!